Oh, there we go. So they still do have ActiveTrack 360 even in vertical mode. But I've actually found out that through the settings, you can actually customize a lot of these settings. So you can customize the inner radius and the outer radius. And in today's video, I'm checking out the Mini 4 Pro, the newly released Mini 4 Pro, and I'm testing out the new ActiveTrack 360 feature. My name is Dan Davis, and I'm a creative director here at DansTube.TV, which is Australia's #1 ranked drone YouTube channel. I'm also the course creator over on the Fearless Drone Academy. So let's get this drone launched into the sky.
Take off.
Oof, got that new drone feel. Here we go. So let's point the camera down to myself here. So to initiate the ActiveTrack 360, it's the same as how we initiate any ActiveTrack mode. So you've got a few different options here. You can draw a box around a person, and as long as it's recognized it as a person, I can go ActiveTrack, I can press go, and then it brings up the 360 feature on the bottom far left of the interface there. So from there, I can then do what I normally would do, where I would start walking, the drone will follow me, but then I can get it to swing off slightly to one side. I can get it to pull a little bit further away and off on an angle. It's pretty cool how much control you actually have over this new feature here. It's definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to because the interface is different to what I'm used to. You can see the home point though in the distance there. So if I get the drone to follow me from the front, you can see in the distance behind me, it actually lets us know where the home point is, which is a really nice feature, especially when you're losing your orientation a little bit with something like this. The drone, as always, is very responsive in this ActiveTrack mode. The other option to get into ActiveTrack is you just go to control and then you click on subject scanning, and now it will have a little plus around me, so I can tap on that and I'll make sure that it locks into the ActiveTrack, because sometimes you can miss the ActiveTrack selection and then it will just stop working for you. We've obviously got the omnidirectional obstacle avoidance here, so that would mean that we're going to have a lot more reliable avoidance on the Mini 4 Pro as opposed to the Mini 3 Pro. You can see I've got it off to the right here. It's kind of staying behind a little bit, so I might try to get it to come in front of me. I like it how it doesn't just kind of jump straight to that position. It actually just slowly goes around the subject. So does a really cool job of creating these smooth dynamic shots. So I'm gonna get the drone now to see how it goes with increased elevation. So there's like a little hill over here that I'm gonna start slowly climbing up. And let's just see how it goes. I might pick up some pace and get it to go from behind, from a distance. Let's see how it goes. So it's noticed that I'm jogging. It's hopefully, yeah, it's getting behind me. It's keeping up with me, which is really good. A few magpies over here that I hope do not attack me. And let's just swing it around the front. It's coming around to the right-hand side. So let's get it to come in a little bit closer. I love that. I love how you can have like a little bit more depth to the tracking. That's really cool. Okay, so this is gonna be the test here. So I'm gonna get it to track me from behind. Hopefully this magpie doesn't want to go for it. I can see the home point right in the distance there. And let's see how it goes with some elevation here. Not aloe vera, but elevation. Oh, so it seems to be, yeah, it knows what's going on. No issues at all. I can see it's just increasing in altitude. Not an issue. No issues at all. We'll get it to kind of come in off to the front right-hand side. This is how close it gets. It can actually get really close, which is cool. So I love that now, because in the previous models, right, it's like you have a set distance that you have to, I guess, use at all times. You don't have too much control. With the latest drones, you've got ActiveTrack 5 and you've got that directional tracking. So you can actually choose the direction that you want the drone to track you in. But I've got even more control here. I can have it nice and close like this, or I can push it back a little bit further, but on that same angle. So now the drone's just gonna get a little bit further back, give me, again, a different perspective. And it's so simple to do that. I love that. I love it that it gives you the path as well. So I can, you know, let's get it to kind of follow around in a 360, like so. So I'm pressing and holding my finger on the actual display itself. The drone is slowly starting to go Not really. Let's maybe let go. Let's see if it does it. Oh, there we go. So now that I've let go, it's starting to go from behind, and now we'll get it to come around the front, but get it to come in a little bit closer. So it's swinging around and coming in a little bit closer, which again, you just couldn't get that kind of control. Yes, you had the directional tracking, but that's really impressive that you can do that. That's actually really, really cool. If you are looking for an extra special deal on the Mini 4 Pro, then I will have a really cool bundle over on the D1 Store's website that will be linked below. But if you're looking for something a little bit more customized for your needs, reach out to sales@d1store.com.au and they'll be able to help you out with whatever it is you need. Just make sure to mention DansTube when you send them an email. All right, so let's see how the drone goes with some soccer, some football, depending on where you're located. So we're gonna get it to follow me from the front here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it to come in nice and close and just see how it goes, tracking me as I'm kind of running towards the drone here. Seems to be swaying a fair bit, which is interesting. I'll lean into it, let's sway with it, and then let's turn around and see how it goes. Is it gonna pick up where I'm going? Let's see. It swung back. Now let's get it behind us for this goal here. Here we go. Go behind me, buddy. Go behind me. Come on. There we go. All right, so the drone's now behind. It's coming in relatively close from behind. I'm gonna change directions. Has it lost me? It's lost me. I'm gonna try to get some range behind me now. I'm gonna try to get it coming in, as I'm coming in for the goal. There we go, so it's spinning around. There should be ample distance now. There we go. No issues there. Curious to see how it goes in front here. Let's get it to go in front as I just slowly walk towards it. I'm gonna try to get it to track me from the side now. See how it goes with that. How's it going? Pretty good? Pretty good so far. Change directions, okay, and it's gone to the side I wanted it to. That's good. Now this time we're going to keep it in relatively close. I'm going to keep it from behind here to see how it goes. We're just tracking a little push and a kick. Let's see. So a little push and kick. So it comes in pretty close. It does get very close. Let's try another. Alright, let's see how it goes. Tracking me to, I think it's the left we want it on. Yep. Let's get it on the left and see how it goes. Tracking me down here. Trying to keep me relatively close. It's when I change directions, that's where I want it to flip around to the other side. Staying on the same side. Let's flip it to the other side. Here it goes. Let's get it on a diagonal behind us now. It does a pretty amazing job, really. Like, it just keeps tracking. Alright, this is now using 4K 100 frames per second. I'm recording now. We won't get much time. Alright, so this is in the 4K 100 frames per second. So another thing I was curious about is the whole vertical video mode. So I'm just gonna have to stop recording for a second. I'm gonna put it into vertical mode, start recording. I'm just gonna choose myself as the subject. Oh, there we go. So they still do have ActiveTrack 360 even in vertical mode. So you still have all the same controls, still the same experience, just you have it with the vertical video mode as well. So that's really cool to know. Because I know sometimes, like when they initially released the Mini 3 Pro, there were some features that weren't available straight away through the vertical video mode, and one of them actually was ActiveTrack. It did later come out. Let me just send it a little bit away. Let's see how it goes again with this net. But yeah, it's good to see that it's feature rich, feature packed. They haven't taken out any features here with the vertical video mode. It still works the same that you would want it to, just as if you were using, oh, it's lost me, just as if you were using the normal mode. So it has lost me there we go. It's lost me with the net, but it's picked me up just over here. So let's get it to come back over. Let's get it to fly around the net. Don't lose me again, mate. Let's get it to fly around this pole here. And oh, I can see there's some strong environmental interference. Don't know why, there's nothing around me. Maybe someone's trying to block my drone, who knows. So let's test it here. There's a few little nets here. I wish I had a soccer ball with me or something. But let's run towards the nets and just see how it goes. When I change direction over here, let's see if it keeps following me from the front. Okay. It does, you can't put this guy off. You gotta slow down though, because there is a pole there. Do not want to crash this guy at all. Yeah, so again, very impressive. Same experience as when you go with horizontal, but you have the option to go with vertical here, and it seems to perform pretty much the exact same, which is great to know. You would expect that, but like I said, when the Mini 3 Pro first came out, the vertical mode didn't support ActiveTrack straight away, didn't support, I don't think it supported like master shots or any of the other features. Looks like they've added those all in straight away with the Mini 4 Pro release. All right, so in my initial test, I was under the impression that some of the features were locked and you didn't have too much control over the ActiveTrack 360, but I've actually found out that through the settings, you press the 3 dots in the top right corner, you then go to control, and there's focus track settings. So as I mentioned initially, we've got the outer circle and the inner circle, but you can actually customize a lot of these settings. So you can customize the inner radius and the outer radius. So if I want that inner radius to be a little bit closer to me, the lowest I can go is actually 3 meters, and the highest I can go for the outer radius is 15 meters. You then have some control over the inner height, the outer height, as well as the camera motion. So that allows you to go with either normal camera motion or fast camera motion. And with the near ground flight, whenever it's enabled, the aircraft can descend to an altitude below 2 meters when tracking subject, but risk of colliding with near ground obstacles will increase. So you've got a few different options here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the inner radius 3 meters, which is the lowest you can make it. The outer radius I'm going to go down to 10 meters here, and then once enabled, it will then be ready to go straight away. So straight when I go into the ActiveTrack mode, you'll see that it will enable it straight away. So this will now be 3 meters, so it's definitely going to be a lot tighter when I've got it on that inner circle. So it's a little bit tighter here, which is cool if you want a nice close shot. The closest you can go is 3 meters here. And then if I push it to the outer circle, you'll see that it'll push it back, and that will be the 10 meter option now. So with the near ground flight enabled, that now means that I can take the aircraft down to 2 meters. So I've got it super low here, still tracking me at that height, so I can get it nice and low, super close to me. You can see the sun in the distance there with this cool perspective. It does come in very close, which is a little sketchy, and there are a few birds here that are going to get mad at me. So I'm just going to let it do its thing, see how it tracks. It definitely does an awesome job. So this is now from the front at that super close 3 meters. And then if I want to push it to the 10 meters, as I showed you before, I can just do this option here. So it will push it back to 10 meters. But then you do also have some options for inner and outer height. So I'm going to make the inner height as low as it can be, which is 0.5, and the outer height 0.5. The highest it can go is up to 15, which I'd imagine would be 15 meters. But with the inner height now, you can see that it can come in super low, so you can get some cool perspectives here. So you actually do have a few more options than I thought. I can also send it up a bit higher. So what we'll do is we'll go into the focus track settings and we'll make the outer height 15. And then you can see that what it does is it sends it up to 15 meters in the sky, but still keeps it relatively close. It's going to be on the outer circle. So what I'm going to do here is pull it down and just show you what happens. So it will come straight down and still keep that same distance that I'm looking for. So again, super impressive stuff, and yeah, I'm glad that there are some more options here, customizing options for the focus track mode. So I'm really impressed that DJI have thought about the focus track settings, because you do have some customization options here for the outer circle and the inner circle. You can customize the radius, the height, some camera motion options, as well as the near ground flight. So we do have some really cool options here that are a lot more customizable than previous ActiveTrack modes. So I've got some boats coming through here. I'm recording 4K 100 frames per second. So with that subject scanning, I can go straight into the ActiveTrack mode. Considering the boat is moving relatively fast here, I do have some options. So I don't have the outer and the inner circle, but I can change the direction that the drone is tracking on. So you can still do that same drawing effect where you can basically choose where you want the drone to be positioned. So similar to the directional tracking, but kind of limits it just a little bit so you don't have as much control over the inner circle and the outer circle. So this on its own is a brand new exclusive feature by the looks of it right now for the Mini 4 Pro. You can see how reliable it is, and yeah, I can't wait to see what other people start doing with this system. This is probably going to be the new norm, I would imagine, for DJI now. This is what they're probably just going to do with all their drones, because this is such a cool feature. I wish we just had a little bit more control, you know, just a little bit more, I guess, drawing control, so I could customize where I wanted it to be exactly. But I think that this is a big step forward, and it is a big improvement over that directional tracking, because you have a bit more fluid movement and you have a little bit more control again. So they've done a great job here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Appreciate all your support. I will chat to you in the next video, and peace out.